The Pebblebrook Falcons pulled up to week 3 of our fall league, going against the Kell Longhorns, and they put on a show. I am Symone, he's Carter. And Carter, did that not feel way more intense than your regular fall league game?
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, it kind of had that mid-season feel. You get two of these teams that, are kind of the powerhouse teams of the moment. Pebblebrook's always been one of those big programs, and Kell's a big program now. And, you have a lot of guys that know each other and kind of go back and forth. So the feel of it was definitely a little more than just like a preseason fall league game. It seemed like there was a little more on the line. You had all the guys from the Atlanta basketball like community, had a crowd around the court, and it was definitely had a big time feel to it. Kell ended up winning the game, but it was back and forth, really good, and we kind of learned a lot about both sides. I mean, not that we haven't learned a lot about Kell the first couple weeks of the fall league, but I mean, just their athleticism on the wing and their size across the board, and then obviously we talked about Peyton Marshall last week, how much of a game changer he is inside. And then on the other side, Pebblebrook's going to be fine. I mean, they had a lot of seniors leave from last year's team that was really good, but they've kind of reloaded. And the guy that was really stood out for me for Pebblebrook was Jace McCullough, who came in, and he's going to play kind of the one and a little bit of the two. He'll play a little bit with the ball in his hands, and he's kind of a guy that's gone under the radar, but he definitely looked like a Division I prospect last night. I mean, he was making reads out of ball screens, knocking down shots. He looked really good. And you add him to guys like Jayon Simon, and they're going to be fine, and they're going to be another team that's going to contend for a state title in 7A. And then on the other hand, Kell, I think in 5A it has to be the favorites in 5A to win the state this year. So that game was crazy. I mean, I think we'll get a lot more games like that come the high school season, where you get two of these like powerhouse teams go back and forth, and you'll get an intense feel to it.
It was so like the pressure, because usually like in a fall league or a preseason game, I mean, guys are putting in work, but they're like going like 70% or 80% because it is preseason. You want to be careful, but they were going after every rebound. The defense was intense. That was the thing for me, really. Everybody was flying around on defense, super scrappy, super intense game. Again, another night where it was like triple teams on Peyton Marshall and trying to see him figure out how he's going to maneuver that. But then also you talk about the athleticism and size of Kell. Those guys on Pebblebrook, literally, not because they're Falcons, but they were literally flying all around the court, jumping up and not scared of the size of Kell, but using their athleticism, to jump and go after those rebounds and try to block guys. There were so many like attempted blocks. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, and Pebblebrook's teams are always going to fly around the court on defense. I mean, that's just how they play. It's how they've always been. They play hard on defense, and they try to get in transition and score a lot of points. And then, on the other side, Kell can match it. So, I mean, it's a recipe for a fun game, and that's exactly what we got out of it.
So, guys, make sure you stay tuned in and tapped into Ryze Hoops, because you never know who could pull up to one of our fall league games. Again, I'm Symone. He is Carter. Thank you guys so much for joining us.